races. The first two root races were of etheric and astral bodies. Therefore, nothing can be left for us to discover about them. But then, as the bodies of man densified, we had the third root race, which is known as Lemuria, and that was a continent that existed in the Pacific. All that is left of that is Australia, the islands that we call Japan. A similar sort of catastrophe happened here that happened to Atlantis. Now, Atlantis in occult teachings is the fourth root race. It was a civilization that rose up to great heights, and if we can believe what the occult teachings tell us, destroyed themselves by reaching to a point of discovery of power that mankind has now reached again in what is known as the Aryan or the fifth root race. Perhaps if we can take the occult side of Atlantis seriously and see from the practical side what happened to it, man might take a warning from the past that what happened then could again happen now. But let us look more into the occult side of Atlantis. One of the things that has interested me greatly in the mystical Kabbalah and its tree of life is the fact that it goes back to the Egyptians. From Plato's story, the Egyptian priesthood were trained by the Atlantean priesthood. This is confirmed to some degree by Iamblichus, a Neoplatonist of the 4th century. He was born AD 250 and died AD 330. He studied in the Porphyry in Alexandria. An Egyptian initiation, as recorded by Iamblichus, is thought to have been in use in the time of the Ramesses. An Egyptian initiation by Iamblichus is translated from the original manuscript by P. Christian, who was the mouthpiece of a French secret society. In the book, An Egyptian Initiation, there are described 22 murals that are hanging around the wall of the initiation chamber. And the would-be initiate priest is told by his guide to study them carefully to such a degree that he can understand the hidden mysteries behind them, because upon his understanding will depend whether he passes the initiation and enters into the priesthood. Those murals are today known as the 22 cards of the major arcana of the tarot. These are also the 22 subjective paths on the Kabbalistic tree of life. Although we can trace these murals back, trace these tarot cards back, where did the Egyptian priesthood first obtain these great deep teachings? Only from a more advanced priesthood than themselves. Again, from occult teachings, we are given to understand that the Atlantean priesthood taught the Egyptian priesthood when Egypt was a colony of this great continent. Madame Blavatsky, in giving us a great deal of information on Atlantis, obtained this information herself through what might be called the masters, or those spiritual beings who dwell on higher planes. This might be referred to as taking things through at a psychic level. And as we know, things coming through on a psychic level are always subject to a lot of doubt. But so many things in Madame Blavatsky's Secret Doctrine, which was published in 1875, just 100 years ago, which at the time were completely unknown, have now been proved to be correct. So that if things have been proved in one field, why should not her information on Atlantis also be correct? If so, then it gives a greater importance to the Kabbalistic tree of life, because we are looking into a spiritual way of life that was taught 10,000 BC at least, because we are not sure how long this great civilization existed with its mystical teachings prior to its destruction.
The innumerable small paths have run into four main roads, and the time has come when even these four roads must melt into one. The solution to the Atlantis problem can be reached only by interdisciplinary science. In Program 2, you will hear about the Atlantis Lust Revived by Ignatius Donnelly and the Sleeping Prophet, Edgar Casey. In this program, the speakers were Edgerton Sykes, Princess Marta de Ruspoli, Dr. Manson Valentine, and James Sturziker. Our series on Atlantis was created and produced by Robert Zend, with co-production and direction by Tim Wilson and Len Shear for Radio Canada International.